welcome back to the Nansera Wellness YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing a yoga flow to strengthen the back. As you know, our back is very important to us. We cannot move, we can pretty much not do anything when the back is not healthy, which is why it's very important for us to strengthen the back. I mean, do you remember the last time you got back pain? How did that go for you? Exactly. Well, this practice is for anyone looking to strengthen their back, to show their back some love. I'm calling it a little love note to the back. But before we get into it, if you're new here, kindly subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, you give it a thumbs up and you share something with me in the comment section. Maybe it's about the video or something that you would like for me to do. Just go wild. All right, let's get started. We're going to come to the back of our mats, bring the knees together, and we're going to come to a child's pose. Send our arms forward, maybe touch the forehead to the ground, or maybe let it rest on our knees. Either is fine. Take 2 breaths here. I think this is more comfortable for me also because I have a microphone. I don't want it to be too loud for you guys. And now from here, take a moment to set your intention for your practice. Maybe you want to dedicate it to someone you love and care about, someone who needs a little bit of love. As you might know, we're going to do backbends, which means heart openers. This is a love practice, really. So anyone that you know who could use a little love, you could dedicate it to them. Even yourself, that person could be yourself. All right, when you're ready, lift up. Let's go forward into a striking cobra. Release the lower back into the mat. Palms are under the shoulders. Lift the chest up. And from here, lift up and back, returning back into a child's pose. Breathing in, going forward into striking cobra. Release everything into the mat. Shoulders away from the ears. And hips up and back. Return to child's pose. 2 more like this. Feel free to move ahead or after me. Go at your own pace. Child's pose. Bhujangasana. And back into child's pose. 1 more round like this. Going forward into Bhujangasana. Shoulders away from the ears. Elbows squeeze the rib cage. And hips up and back to a child's pose. Beautiful. And again, we're going to return back to Bhujangasana. And this time, we're going to go in a Triaka Bhujangasana or twisting cobra. We twist to one side, back to center, twist to the second side. Try to keep your hip bones grounded into the mat and only lift the trunk. I know it's quite of a challenge, so feel free to not lift too much. It's okay. Squeeze the glutes and breathe. And back into center. Tuck your toes. Come into a tabletop. Feet are hip distance apart and knees. Your arms are shoulder distance apart. And from here, we're going to start walking the arms away and find ourselves into a puppy. Keep your hips stuck right above the knees. Push the arms away. Feel the stretch in the upper back. Maybe elbows come to the mat and release everything. If it's easy for you to bring your forehead down, see if you can touch the chin to the mat. And alternatively, you can use your blocks. Resting your arms on your blocks and fold. And just stay there like that. The point is to feel it in your upper back regardless of the depth of the stretch. And slowly release. Coming back into a tabletop. Now from here, I want you to release the crown of your head into the mat, as close as is comfortable towards your knees, and then hug opposite elbows behind your thighs, or maybe reach for your ankle joints with your hands. And then you can roll back and forth on the crown of your head. You just want to neutralize the spine. And slowly coming up, plant the palms, returning back to a tabletop. Gonna move the blocks away. And then tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, come to downward facing dog. Maybe keep your knees bent. Or if you already feel warmed up in the hamstrings, feel free to lengthen the knees. Sway the hips from side to side, cycling through the knees. Inhale, peel the heels off the mat, roll forward for a plank pose, shoulders above the wrists, and release the lower back towards the floor. Open up into a modified up dog, then bend your knees, send the tailbone skyward, push the mat away, find your way back into downward facing dog. And again, spinal roll, heels up, forward into a plank, release the lower back towards the mat, knees stay lifted and strong, push back, downward facing dog. Again, spinal roll. Release the lower back towards the mat, strong in those knees. Chest goes forward, maybe sway from side to side. And hips go up and back, downward facing dog. Amazing. And now ground your heels completely if that's accessible for you. Peel all 10 toes off the mat. But also, it's okay for you to stay micro-bend wherever you are today. From here, you're going to send the right leg up, bend the right knee, bring it towards your head, go forward as far as is possible for you. Squeeze the glutes, and then step that foot between your palms. Drop the back knee into the mat. Option to untuck the toes or keep them tucked, the back toes. And again, you can reach for your blocks to act as extensions for your palms if your palms don't touch the mat. And now you're going to swing the right hand all the way to the left and back. Follow your fingers with your gaze. And then swing it all the way back to the starting point. Left hand swings up and back to the right. And all the way back to the block. Right hand goes back to the left. Swing back, find the block. Left hand goes to the right and swing back. One more time. Right hand to the left and all the way back. And now from here, left hand swings back and all the way back to the block. And now you're going to bend the back knee and reach back for the back foot with your right hand. And then I want you to kick away that foot from the hand, opening your chest into corkscrew back bend. Breathe. You can stay here or release your elbow onto the block or the mat, like that, and keep kicking. Relax your neck. And slowly release. Amazing. Plant your palms. Tuck your toes. Send that leg back, hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Nice. Breathe here. Next inhale, we're going to send the left leg up. Bend the left knee, bring it towards the head. Peel the right heel off the mat. Start going forward. Suck the kneecaps in. Bring that leg towards your head. And then step it between your palms. Drop the back knee into the mat. And again, feel free to reach for your blocks as extensions for your arms. Or maybe release your hands all the way to the mat. Adjust your foot. Make sure the ankle is right is in a straight line to the knee or the knee is slightly behind. Left hand lifts up, swing to the right, all the way back. Right hand swings to the left and back. Left hand goes right, back. Right hand goes left, back, swing, and back. And last round, swing, and all the way back. Plant the right palm into the mat, send the left hand back, bend the right knee, and reach for the foot, and kick back. Maybe open the left toes out to the left, and again you have the option to come onto your elbow. If you want to go deeper, wherever you are today, breathe. And slowly release. Plant your palms, tuck the toes, and send your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Breathe here. And now, from our downward facing dog, we're going to come back to a plank pose and release everything all the way down into the mat. I'm going to remove this to the side. We don't need them for now. We're going to release the forehead. And I think I need to move the microphone. Okay, I think I'll just put it there. Release the arms into the mat, forehead into the mat. We're going to go into an Adha Salabhasan or half lotus, locust pose. We're going to start with the right leg up and left hand up. Breathe in. Exhale, release. Inhale, right hand up, left leg, and release. So we're just going to keep alternating like that. Down. Breathing in and down. Breathing in, out. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do one more each side. Inhale, lift up. Hold. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Beautiful. Maybe use your arms as cushions to rest your forehead. Windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Neutralize the spine. Amazing. And from here, all right, baby might come back. We're going to come onto our backs. Whew. And you guessed it, we're going for Chakrasana or wheel pose. Don't worry if you feel like this is not for you. I'm going to give you modifications right from the start all the way. We can do this together, yeah? Okay, you're going to graze for your heels. And then first you can go into Setu Bandhasana, bridge pose, like that. Come onto your shoulder blades, opening your chest. Squeeze your glutes or contract them and lift up. Alternatively, you can bring your palms in front of your shoulders, fingertips facing the shoulders, and then lift up, push into the mat, but still let the shoulders rest for support. Or if you're comfortable, roll onto the back of your head, like that. Or maybe lift up and hold here, or maybe push all the way, and then start shifting the weight into your shoulders if this is comfortable. Squeeze the squeeze the glutes together to protect your lower back, and maybe move back and forth into your wheel. Use your breath. If this is comfortable, walk your hands back towards your feet and feet towards your hands and hold it there. squeeze the glutes. I don't know why I'm insisting on calling it rib glutes, sorry. And slowly chin to chest and come out of the pose. Amazing. Bring the soles of your feet to touch. Let your knees fall open into Setu Bandha Konasana. And rest here. Whew, that was amazing. I'm so proud of you. Well done. From here, you're going to bring your knees together and rock and roll back and forth on your spine. Whew, and all the way into a seated position. I'm going to turn around because I just love facing the natural light. All right, now we're going to go into Paschimmo, but we're going to get into it this way. I want you to bend your knees a whole lot. Rest your belly on your thighs. Belly stays glued to the thighs the whole time. Reach for the outer arches of your feet and hold on to them. And then start sliding your legs forward. But the spine, the belly is glued to the thighs, so the spine stays straight. We want to iron it out. And if you feel like you've reached your body's extent, just hold it there. And only go further when you're ready. But the belly does not leave the glutes, the thighs. Oh my God, that's so nice on the lower back. Alternatively, you can use a strap. This can be also an extension of your arms, like that, and pull. Belly is glued to the thighs the entire time. Breathe. And when you've reached your body's extent, if your legs are straight all the way into the mat, the knees are straight, and maybe you touch your chin to right below the knees. So it shouldn't be on the knees that you're rounding, it should be to after the knees, top of the shin bone. And breathe here. And slowly coming all the way up. Let's come to a lying position and do some spinal twisting. We're going to draw our knees to the chest and then send them. I'm going to start with the right so that you can see. Maybe no, with the left so you can see. All right, bring the knees, hug them to your chest. Right hand goes out to the right. Knees stay close to the chest. You can release them or bring the left hand to rest on top of them. And now from here, you're going to move them lower, maybe 3 centimeters. And that way, the twist keeps moving up the spine, yeah? 3 centimeters. So we started when it was in the lower back and now it's moving up to the upper back. You want to bring them until maybe your heels touch the glutes if that's possible for you. Keep the shoulder, the right shoulder glued into the mat. And when you've reached your body's extent, reach for your feet with your right hand for support to bring them to the glutes and then send it back to the right. Beautiful. And return back to center. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Knees to chest and all the way to the right. Left hand goes out. Wow, I just had a crack in the spine. Felt so good. Release the left hand to the mat. Right hand supports the knees onto the ground. And then start moving them down. One breath for every 3 centimeters. You can always do this in your free time. It's a good way to get through the whole spine. I love it. And when you've reached your body's extent, you can always do that. Okay, this is a pet peeve for me as well, but try not to close your eyes in the practice because usually when we close our eyes, then we are flooded with thoughts, yet we want to be present. So I'm also working on it. It's a challenge for me, but I'm working on it. So we can do it together. Eyes open. And return back to center. Hug your knees to your chest. And then bring the forehead towards the knees for Supta Pawana Muktasana. This is the famous farting pose. And slowly release. Deep inhale. Heavy exhale. Next inhale, lift up again for Supta Pawana Muktasana. Inhale. And on the exhale, release. Come into Shavasana. Let your feet fall out side by side. Hands alongside the hips. Closing down your eyes. And getting into your mental practice. Staying here for as long as you want or need. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. I wish for you good health and happiness. Namaste.